Welcome to my channel. In this video, I want us to look at the three major presidential candidates and their messaging. What are they messaging? What are they telling Nigerians? Because in decent society and other climes, candidates are sold by their messaging, what they have to offer, what they have to offer differently from the other. What is new they are bringing on the table? What is new they want to implement? The policies and program that they will bring that is different from what has been in existence. That is why in United States, to campaign in America costs a lot of money. Trillions of dollars are spent in American presidential campaign. Most of it goes into messaging. Messaging, basically. If you go and check the money that was spent in America in presidential election, the money is not being spent in bribing delegates. They are not being spent in bribing voters. It is spent in winning the hearts and minds of Americans. That is the similar thing that happens in United Kingdom. If you follow UK elections, the issues are put on the table and the messaging are sold to the British through their television, radio, billboard, what have you. The messaging is the key. That is why a lot of money are spent on messaging, not on bribing delegates, not on buying vote on election day. It is all on messaging. What have you done? What will you do? What can you offer differently from what have been existing? Right now in Nigeria, the tragedy of the Nigerian situation is that some people are putting money aside to buy votes, having bought the delegates with money. Because even in choosing the delegates, getting the candidates, millions of dollars were spent to buy delegates. Millions of dollars were spent to buy delegates. Why do they have to spend millions of dollars? Because they know that they have already impoverished the people. And money is the only way that they can get the people to support them. So they bribe them. As the election is around the corner, what have they done? They are setting money aside to buy votes. You see what happened in the recent Ekiti election. Votes were bought brazenly, unashamedly by politicians. And they will come out to say that the people gave them mandates. So in Nigeria, ahead of the 2023 presidential election, what are the messages that are coming out that ought to decide this election? Look at the kind of simple question that Ronald Reagan asked when he was challenging Jimmy Carter of the Democratic Party, who was an incumbent president. He asked Americans, are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? That was the messaging that changed the election. And Donald Trump and Ronald Reagan, a film actor turned politician, defeated an incumbent president. Now, what is the messaging for this election? What is it that your candidates are telling Nigerians that they want to do? What is it that they are telling Nigerians they want to do? They're not telling Nigerians. Many of them are not telling Nigerians anything. They're not even selling false hope. That is the tragedy of the Nigerian situation. That is the tragedy of the Nigerian situation. Now, let me examine the messaging from one of the candidates. Then I will examine the messaging from one of the surrogates of the candidates. Now, let us examine Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party. Mr. Peter Obi of the Labour Party has his messaging is centered on I want to turn Nigeria from a consuming nation to a productive nation. He said for too long, Nigeria has been a consuming nation. We consume a lot without producing virtually nothing to add to the productivity of the world, because we're not living in isolation. The other rest of the world are producing, they are productive, they are putting something on the table. What are we putting? We're only consuming. Even things we should add value to, we don't. We have crude oil in Nigeria, we sell it still as crude. We can't even refine it to add value to it so that we can make profit from it. Nigeria is the only open country that is not smiling even as the price of crude oil has hit the roof all over the world. Why? Because we have failed to produce anything in respect to the crude oil that is in our land. We are not satisfied with the crude, lifting it from as it is on the ground and selling it like that. The refineries have collapsed. Our industrial sector has collapsed. Productivity in Nigeria is one of the lowest in the world. So Mr. Peter Obi said, we can't continue living like this. We cannot continue living like this. So his messaging is very clear. I want to remove Nigeria from consuming to production. Then we are now going to concentrate on how to produce. From our laws, we find out that every month they gather in Abuja, the governors and their commissioners of finance, to share the federal allocation. So we have become a nation of consumers. So nobody is thinking out of the box on how to produce. Nobody is even talking about how to save. Nigeria is the only country in the world where even the constitution did not make provision for productivity or for saving. Mr. Peter Obi is different from the rest of them. Even as governor, he was saving money. If you look at the reason he was impeached as governor, it was because they said he was saving without authorization. Can you imagine? And you and I know from elementary economics that you cannot invest unless you save, because it is from the pool of your savings that you can raise the money for investment. Today, we all are witnesses that Mr. Peter Obi's savings was used for investment on behalf of Anambra State. And it was from pool of that savings that recently Obiano, his successor, built a international cargo airport in Anambra State. So Mr. Peter Obi knows what he was talking about, or what he's talking about when he's talking about that I want to move this country from being a consuming nation to a productive nation, to a production nation, to a productive nation. Yeah. From moving from consuming nation to a producing nation. And that is what this country needs. That is the messaging. And you see Mr. Peter Obi, anywhere you see him talk, he sees opportunities. You see him, he travels to the north, he tells you what can be done with vast land mass of the north, to turn it into an investment that is bigger, better, and more sustainable than crude oil. He looks at Niger State. He knows the potentiality of Niger State in terms of productivity. He looks at Aba. He knows the potentiality in terms of productivity. That is what is that is messaging. But what about his opponents? What are their messaging? What are they messaging? Before I go into what they are messaging, please, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel or you are new to my channel, subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. Because when you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Okay? So, let us look at Atiku Abubakar. What is his messaging? What has he been saying that he will do? He has not really told much to Nigerians. Let us be frank about it. I would have played some video, but I made my YouTube channel. I don't want to put anybody. This is only original content from me that I put up. I would have put up some video of one of the supporters of Mr. of Atiku Abubakar, Senator Dino Melaye. Senator Dino Melaye made a video recently where he said that Peter Obi is a good candidate. He's his friend. He loves him and what he's doing. But Peter Obi's movement should come and join Atiku's movement because Atiku is a unifier. And then he began to tell us why Atiku is a unifier. He said that Atiku has a Yoruba wife, he has Igbo wife, he has Fulani wives, he has Fulani wife, and all that. Mentions of you about 3 or 4 ethnic groups say that he has a wife from there. So he's a unifier. So he understood the nation. That is the essence of unity, of his understanding of unity. That if you marry from across the tribal divides in Nigeria, it means that you are a person that is promoting unity. So that's what he wants to sell Atiku Abubakar as unifier. But I now look at it this way. Look, Nigeria has over 300 languages, over 300 ethnic groups. If marriage is a criteria for uniting a nation, then Atiku need to marry more wives. You need to marry more wives. You need to get at least up to 300 wives or more, because in this country, we have so many ethnic groups and languages, if that is what will unite the country. But as far as I'm concerned, what unites this country is poverty. What unites this country is unemployment. What unites this country is insecurity. And whoever will solve it will unite the country better on a positive direction. Because the person will help in reducing crime, banditry, insurgency, and increase the living standard of Nigerians. It's not somebody who will bring artificial unity by marriage. That's not unity. It is when you empower the people, you reduce crime. All over the world, as Mr. Peter Obi has observed, all over the world where you see peace, prosperity, it is because people have been empowered. From Finland to Germany to United States and all that. Anywhere you see peace, progress, prosperity. The people themselves have been empowered. That is what we need. If people are empowered, graduates don't have to spend 10 years without jobs and paying jobs for that matter. And all the parts of Nigeria have electricity. People can put their mind to any economic endeavor and pursue it without worrying about electricity, about pipe-borne water, without worrying about the quality of the schools their children will go to, knowing that they are excellent schools. The country will be united more than ever. And Mr. Peter Obi has presented himself as the man that can make that possible. Then the presidential candidate of APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he also made one video. He was on a video, but I don't want to put anybody's video on my channel. In that video, he was saying that he wants to reduce the purchasing power of the people and increase taxation. How can you reduce the purchasing power of the people and then also increase taxation? And you say you are going to bring prosperity. You can't bring prosperity by reducing the purchasing power of the people. And you are reducing the purchasing power and you are increasing the tax net. Is it not somebody who is working and earning decent living that can pay tax? Do you increase the tax net in a situation where you have over 45% unemployed Nigerians and a huge percentage of underemployment? What I will do is that I will sort out those videos and put it on the link of those videos at the bottom of this video, so that you can go to the link and verify the information I'm talking about. So you find out that in terms of messaging, only Peter Obi is actually messaging and driving to the core of what Nigerians are facing today, which is how to extricate ourselves from being a consuming nation to a producing nation. How to extricate ourselves from being the poverty capital of the world to becoming the prosperity heaven of the world. We can do it. Other nations have done it. Nations like Singapore moved from third world to first world. Nigeria can do it. All Nigeria needs is a leader who has the right thinking. Because the problem we have in Nigeria is that we have leaders that do not think. Now we are having an opportunity of putting a man at the presidential villa Abuja, a man who thinks. For the first time, we are putting a man who thinks at the presidential villa. And I hope that Nigerians don't miss this opportunity, because this kind of opportunity is once in a lifetime that it presents itself, because it's an opportunity to make a radical change, a paradigm shift. Already you can see Mr. Peter Obi, just by his words, has begun to change the minds of Nigerians. Look at how many millions of Nigerians that have gone to register to vote, because Mr. Peter Obi just told the youths to take back their country, and they heeded him. Today, even the APC and the PDP, they are now struggling, telling people to go and register. Why didn't they do it before? They are only trying to ride on the bandwagon that have been created by the consciousness that was raised by Mr. Peter Obi. So it is important that we interrogate our leaders, and that it's also important that we ask what are their messaging, what are they messaging. Many of them have no messaging that can make any difference in the lives of Nigerians. The only messaging that has been resonating in Nigeria today, anyone you ask on the street, ask him, what is it that Mr. Peter Obi say he will do for Nigeria? He will tell you that Peter Obi has been saying it, that he will move this country from a consuming nation to a producing nation. He has been saying it. And I can bet you that Mr. Peter Obi as president will make sure that that lacuna in the constitution, where it is literally illegal to save money in Nigeria, will be adjusted so that government can save money. That is how nations are run. You cannot spend all that you earn, whether as an individual or as a nation. So with him, you know where the country is going. And you also know that he's not going to steal your money. Of all the presidential candidates, top ranking ones among them, he is the only former governor who is not receiving pension or gratuity. He has never received even pure water from Anambra State government. But go and look at the humongous pension law that Tinubu passed before leaving office. Perhaps I will look for the link of what the pension law of Lagos State, so that you see what Tinubu enjoys, as well as other former governors of Lagos State. But the law was made by Tinubu. He was the one that sent it as an executive bill. That will show you who will work for Nigeria and who will not work for Nigeria. So before you begin to argue on social media or off social media, or begin to talk to people, first of all, ask them, what is it that Tinubu said he will do? What is it that Peter Obi said he would do? What is it that Atiku said he would do? And which of them is better? Peter Obi said, I will move Nigeria from a consuming nation to a producing nation. Atiku Abubakar said, through his spokespersons and his supporters, that he's a unifier, and that this is a unifier who knows how to unify Nigeria by marriage. Then the presidential candidate of APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, says he wants to reduce the purchasing power and increase the tax net. Which of them do you think is the best for the country at this point in time? God bless you. And please, before you go, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell, like this video, share it widely. When you subscribe to my channel, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you.